So if you do it right, it can really help and just be really helpful to your mental health and to your business all at the same time. Yep.
Savannah, what are you doing?
I'm on a work vacation.
A work vacation. All right, guys, so we are on our work vacation. So seriously, one of the options that you can do when you are trying to combat burnout is a work vacation. That's something that I don't know if other people do it, but that's something that we came up with, and it has worked well for us. Where essentially, this is something that you would do when you cannot afford to completely stop. You can't afford sometimes you just can't. Like, stopping would interrupt your business, especially when you first start in business. Sometimes your first year, you really can't afford to completely stop sometimes. We didn't go on vacation at all our first year. It's just work, work, work. So the work vacation was born, okay? And what that is essentially you do something that you enjoy to get you away. In this case, it's actually coming to a decent hotel that's fairly nice, and you just stay and you get some work done. You set aside certain things that you can do during that time. You make a plan together. And usually during that work vacation, it might look something like, okay, we're not going to get up at 5:30 realistically. When we're on the farm, we get up at 5:30. That's the time we're supposed to get up. When I'm doing shutdowns, I get up at 4:30. Okay, so when we're on a work vacation, we don't get up at 5:30. Now, we don't just sleep in till noon because we are still working, but we might get up at 7:30, even 8 o'clock if we feel like it. Okay, and then if you really feel like it, then you work in your pajamas, whatever. You come out, you sit around the fire, you enjoy yourself. You work in you usually pick a place with a nice lobby or a nice place to work. Now, this is not going to work for everybody, okay? Like, if your business or your farm, the work that you have there, it's probably not going to work real well for homesteaders. If you're just trying to homestead. But if you're just homesteading, and I'm not downing that, I'm just saying, if it's not a business, then it's not as important. It can be as important, but what I mean is it's not as demanding as a farm or any type of business. Okay, so this is going to work well for anyone. Well, give us some examples, Savannah, of what we can do on a work vacation.
Okay, so for me, I'm the one that does a lot of the computer work. Computer work meaning advertising, book work, social media, things like that. So that's where my mind goes. I do have some other examples besides that. So first, one of them would be that you could choose some businesses or farms or anything similar to what you do, and you could plan just like a weekend or a few days during the week. It would depend on when those places are open, of course, but plan to go look there. Like, plan to stay a few nights in that town, go to those places, do some research, learn, and try to pick up some things that could help you. And it would be fun, in the meantime as well.
That would be like, if that's a part of your farm.
Yeah.
It's like, and because we've actually done that. If that's a part of your farm, then you're planning to go to those specific places, so you lay those out.
Yeah. And it would also help you build up contacts and a network of people that you can turn to. So then another is plan a couple days where you find a hotel or an Airbnb or something that has a good atmosphere that promotes working. Like, for me, it's like even a coffee shop, or like where we are now, like a lobby for the evening, like that just really, like.
But preferably you're finding a place that has all of that in together.
Yeah.
and you can actually spend the night, because it makes a difference, because otherwise you're not really, because you know
Because you want to relax
well,
too.
and sometimes it is. Sometimes all you need is just to go into town and sit at a coffee shop and get away. You know, but we're kind of talking about when you're reaching that threshold of burnout, where you need something else. This can be something that can help you, and that is a work vacation where you actually get in. You can rest. You can kind of actually maybe go see some stuff here and there.
Yeah.
But one of the advantages is you actually don't have to go that far. You can go. You can go right there in your own town if you want to. If there's a nice place to go, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's helping you. So give us some examples of stuff that we do, Savannah, stuff that you do, we do, while we're on a work vacation, or we have done.
So you can, I mean, you could get caught up with some bookwork if you have to do sales taxes or income tax, or just, you know, like basic bookwork. You can get caught up on
taxes
that.
and bookwork always fall behind.
Yeah.
When you're on a farm.
And then, but then if you need to do social media, that's a good time to get some posts put together, scheduled posts, or newsletters, so, you know, social media, whatever you need to do, get that, all that information put together.
Or like me, doing a YouTube channel. I actually find it to be really helpful to, while I'm here, and one of the things that I'm doing when I'm not helping her get caught up on taxes or anything like that, is that I can work on my videos, editing things like that, and I can kind of get things better on that. But also, for me, like I said, it's a little, I can do bookwork just fine. I used to do all my taxes for my welding business before we ever met, but I don't enjoy it all that much. So I find it distracting when I'm at home at the farm. It's very hard for me to focus on that. But when I come here, and I'm away from the farm and I'm able to relax a little bit, I actually find it easier to go ahead and focus on that. So then it's like it gives me a focus. These are the handful of things. This is all we can do. We're going to do this. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier when we said that you just pick 3 things, you know, 3 things that you do, and you chisel those things away. This kind of gives you a chance to just have a couple of things that there's only so many things you can work on that work vacation. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to help everyone, and it's not going to help every situation. If your problem is, I got to work cows this weekend, that's just not going to work, you know. But realistically, there is a lot of things that do fall behind, and I think if you get creative and you really think about it, like, there's so many times in your business where advertisement falls short, or social media falls short, or even just education. Okay, educating yourself on your business, on things like just, okay, let's pretend for a minute that you were going to start a storage facility business, okay, and you wanted to start this business. If you had the money to come to a place like this and rest and relax, then you could come here, and then you could come to a town that you wanted to work in. You could start making calls to all of the places. You don't have to be here to do this, obviously. I'm just saying this is an example. You could start calling all of the places that are around, see what kind of prices they have, see what their monthly plans are, maybe 2-year plans, things like that. You could really start to do your research and homework while you're resting. Maybe you could watch a few YouTube videos on some of that subject, you know. So that's just like an example, a real world example of another subject of something else you could do on this work vacation. So like I said, it's not going to work for everyone. We have found it to be useful for us. You definitely do get rested. It's just a change of pace. You know, you can kind of control it to some degree. But it's just an idea, and I think it's a pretty good example. What else do you have to, like, do you have anything else to add on that?
No, just, I mean, when you're planning, just make sure that you do have to plan. You can't just go willy-nilly.
It's not a complete vacation.
Yeah, I mean, you do have, in order for it to serve its purpose, you need to plan where you're going and what you're going to do. Like if you're going any places to learn and to do that, you've got to put some planning into it to make it effective.
Especially if you're going to advertise. So like we talked about where we were going to different restaurants and trying to promote our beef at those restaurants. We're trying to sell our beef at that restaurant or at that health food store or wherever. We had to do some research. We couldn't just go willy-nilly and just go to any hotel and to any town and to any place. You know, you have to do a little research depending on what it is you're doing.
And then make sure that you do choose, wherever you stay, you choose a place that is going to fit you and will make you productive.
That's a really good point.
You don't want to choose a place that is going to just make you relax completely.
Right.
And then just be like, oh, I don't want to do anything. You need to choose a place where you're like, wow, yeah, like I'm gonna relax here, but it's gonna be very conducive to me getting things done.
Right.
It's gonna help me, you know.
Right, and I actually think for us it's kind of a good, that place is kind of the same place, because if she went to Cancun, you know, Mexico, and was on the water on the beach or something, she couldn't work. There's no way, you know. If I went and there was all of this outdoor stuff, hiking stuff, and all of this really epic stuff, like, you know, just different outdoor stuff, you know, we could go fishing and we could do all this stuff. There's no way I couldn't get into that work mode. So something like this, where it's like it's middle of the road, it's comfortable, it's relaxing, but I guess the word would be it's not overstimulating. Maybe that's the word for it. You know, it's not a complete vacation. It's just a relaxing, different change of pace for your work. Simple as that.
So if you do it right, it can really help and just be really helpful to your mental health and to your business all at the same time.